Now, you might have heard of an elevator pitch before, but I've never heard of anybody in the art world talk about this. And it's how I market myself over and over and over again. It's how I've gone viral. So, the elevator pitch. The elevator pitch consists of who you are, what you want, why you want it, how it connects to the opportunity that you seek. It is something that I learned really quickly when I was younger. It helped me get into an Ivy League school. It helped me get awards. It helped me get jobs. It helped me get scholarships. And it's essentially gotten me everything that I've ever wanted in my life. And it's very simple. It's just a way of storytelling and communicating yourself and why you do what you do very quickly. So it's called an elevator pitch because you imagine yourself being on an elevator with somebody that you've never met and that you don't know. What are you going to tell them about yourself? This can be applied to any field, but for art, what would you tell them about your art? You have to tell them why you do art, why it's a passion of yours, and describe your art a little bit. For me, I would say, hi, my name is Julissa. I started painting 5 years ago after a brain injury changed my vision. Now I make vibrant dreamscapes that represent my reality. That is essentially my elevator pitch. I can go a little further with that, or I can leave it there. It's enough for a person to get a little bit of a snapshot of the work that I do. And like I said, you can do this for any field. When I was applying for college, my story was I wanted to be an attorney. I grew up, my mom was lucky enough to get a stable job with healthcare and benefits, and I saw that she got that from a union job. And because of that, I wanted to pursue labor law and ensure that other families would get that opportunity as well, just like mine did. Sit down and think a little bit about your own elevator pitch. Why do you make art? It can be something as simple as I grew up drawing because my dad was an artist and I was so inspired by his work. So the love that he had for his artistry, I also put into my artistry, something like that. It doesn't have to be anything super complicated, but people want to know why you create art, what drives you, what is your mission with your work. I think that a lot of people don't realize that people want to understand where you're coming from as an artist. People want to hear your story and they want to connect with your work on a different level. Be explicit about where your work comes from, why you created that piece, what inspired you. I find that a lot of the people that end up purchasing my work are very connected to my story and what my art represents, which is a journey of healing and recovery and hope. That might, of course, be different for you, but I think that because I knew my elevator pitch from the beginning, I understood why I did art and what was my mission driving me to create art, and I communicated that over and over and over again to my audience. People now associate me with that message. It's a way of people understanding me, what I'm about. It's also a way of essentially brand recognition where people know what your mission is and therefore they associate anything that you make with that mission. I think that that has gotten me really far in life, being able to quickly, concisely communicate my vision to anybody that I come across, because this actually might happen to you in real life as well. Say you're at a convention and you're selling your work and somebody comes up. What do you tell them? You might want to tell them why you do what you do. Why is your style the way it is? What's most important to you about communicating through your art? I think a lot of the artwork that we make has a reason behind it, and we might not even know it when we're making it. It might take us a little bit of reflection to understand where that piece came from. There might be something there that you're missing or that you're not thinking of that you can implement into your strategy for sharing who you are online. And another thing that I think is really helpful for me to say, because I find a lot of people feel this way, and I did too at first, is it's okay to repeat yourself. You're not annoying. It's okay to share yourself and take up space. It's okay. It is how you find the people that will resonate with your work. It is how you find the people that will support you. Like I said, people want to support you. You just have to find them. I promise you, there's people out there that will deeply resonate with your work, that will support your work and purchase your work. You just have to allow yourself to be seen, which for me was definitely the hardest part. Especially because I was not a trained artist. I'm a self-taught artist. I started in my mid-20s. I never saw myself as creative, but if I can do it, you can do it too. I promise you. I had never ever painted before. Fell absolutely in love with it and just kept going as long as I could. I find myself being as authentic to myself as I have ever been and receiving amazing support. I can't say that enough. this would have probably never happened if I hadn't taken a chance and been vulnerable. The things that you think that you should hide away or that you should keep silent or keep inside are the things that people will support you for. I always thought that nobody wanted to see my paintings. Nobody wanted to hear my story about my TBI. Who cares? You know, like, everybody goes through hardship, but that is why people care, because everybody goes through hardship and people want to know your story, how you made it through. It's how we connect with each other. It's how we make meaning of our own difficulties. And being vulnerable is so hard, especially online, where people can be very cruel and mean for no reason at all. But I promise you, sometimes, from my experience, being vulnerable online has led me to some amazing things that I never expected. Not only have I shared my work with the world, I've sold paintings, I've sold prints, I've been able to work with some incredible people. I painted awards for environmental leaders across the US, one of them being Dolores Huerta, one of my absolute favorite civil rights and labor leaders of all time, who I studied in college, was a big fan of, and I'm so beyond honored and stoked that she has a piece of my artwork that was given to her as an award for her work. It's such a big deal to me because I was actually studying to go into labor law because of her and the work that she did, and I always admired her and saw her as a sort of figure that drove me forward and helped me make sense of where I wanted to go. I completely leave the field of labor law and all of that, and I never thought I would come back to it, but it was such a full circle moment when I was able to paint that award for her and thank her for her work with my art. I mean, I can't even fathom that, but it's because I put myself out there. The only regret that I have is not putting myself out there more, because we often tell ourselves no before other people do. So don't do that. Don't make that mistake of telling yourself no before someone else does. I used to be so scared of failure. It absolutely petrified me to fail. And I didn't fail a lot when I was in my later teen years and in college. That kept me from a lot because it made me so scared of failure that I never tried anything that I knew I was likely to fail at. But with art, I fail over and over again, and I grow so much more in a way that feels right and authentic to me. The elevator pitch is so essential for communicating yourself quickly and concisely to somebody. You can use it over and over again, and I recommend applying the elevator pitch to social media can help you elevate your content, because you're going to want to have content about your work or about your brand or about your art that attracts people. So in order to attract people, you have to essentially introduce yourself. Think about how you can represent that elevator pitch on social media through a short video, a short form video. Those are my best performing videos. I sat down, thought about my elevator pitch, and then packaged it in a way that made sense for a short form video, made it into a sort of story. A couple of those have gone completely viral. People connect and like stories. And I also have particular language that I use. It has to be concise, because when people are scrolling through social media, they don't have a very big attention span. I mean, think about how you scroll through social media. Are you gonna read a really dense caption? Most likely not. Sometimes those videos do well, but as long as it's concise and short and easy for somebody to digest, people will be more likely to give it the attention that it deserves. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. So definitely check out my shop if you're interested, paxpaints.com. Thank you so much for watching and being here. I hope that helped. If you want to add your elevator pitch below, I will look it over and give you feedback. So definitely do that, because I look forward to hearing your stories and your journeys and why you create art. It can get you far, I promise. So take some time and do this. I will see you in the next video.